I get. What's low? This thing. Today's not my day. Hi, today's not my day. Today's not my day. I wanna cry. Satan against na. Guys, I cannot. The amount of effort it takes me to record one video, ne? The devil is a liar. Devil is a liar. I've got my tote bag, and inside my tote bag, I've got my drinks. I can't really my I Marating, rhetorical, la babes. Ho ntse ho le jwalo. Ho ntse ho le jwalo. Nna ke ngwanyana wa Val, 18 moyeng. Beke le beke my scat. Nahana he ka sama yeo. Hey, bathong a rieng. A rieng, shine. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Nolo, and if you are new here, thank you so much for watching. But if you are a regular, then welcome back, sweetie. As you know, the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about self-growth and just becoming better versions of ourselves. So today we are talking about the things that no one tells you when it comes to healing, right? Everybody just talks about the glow up, how great it's going to be, how great it is, what a beautiful person you are going to be. But nobody really walks us through the journey step by step. And some people do talk about it, but it's not really a topic. Everyone just wants to be on the other side. And you never really know or hear or see the difficulties and challenges that you experience when you are going through the journey. Today, we're just going to be talking about the 5 things that we can look at and see and identify when we are going through self-improvement and healing, right? These are the things that we will stumble upon and things that we just need to recognize that if we do see them, we mustn't feel alarmed or feel like giving up. This is just part of it, So number 1 is loneliness before alignment. When you go through self-improvement and healing and growth, like we spoke about the past couple of weeks, you need to be alone. You need to learn how to be on your own in order for you to rediscover who you are. And sometimes that means you need to isolate yourself. Sometimes that means you need to kind of move away from certain people, certain relationships, and that can feel quite heavy and lonely, right? It's part of the journey. You need to feel that in order for you to be comfortable with being by yourself, so that you can identify that being alone should not always mean loneliness. So there are moments where you'll feel like you're lonely, like I'm no longer the person, whatever. You'll feel left out, things like that. But just look at the brighter and bigger picture. You'll reap the rewards in due time. Number 2 is doubting and second guessing yourself, right? When you go through this path, you will sometimes feel like, am I even growing? Is it even working for me? Because I feel like I'm still the same, things like that. But you need to know that with growth comes self-reflection, and with self-reflection comes doubt. So you will doubt yourself, you will question yourself, you will why am I even doing this? Because I'm not seeing anything, You just expect to see the full picture, but you need to go through the doubting phase, that, second guessing phase, so that you can reap the rewards with consistency and the repetition of the pattern. You will eventually see and you'll be able to recognize that, oh, okay, how bad, man? How bad, You might see results after 6 months, after 8 months, after a year. Just keep at it. Sometimes the doubt will come, sometimes the second guessing will come because you feel like you're not seeing results fast enough, but it will work out, my girl. It will work out. Number 3 is missing the old you. So sometimes we go back to old habits because it's what we're familiar with, right? It's comfortable, it's familiar, it's how we know how to live. And sometimes you miss the old you because that's what you are, that's your norm, right? Even if that person was not thriving, just surviving, right? But we need to teach our minds to be in a positive mind state, to say, I would have reacted like this, but I need to learn, how to react differently and be okay with feeling like you are no longer your old self, because that is the point. When you start doing something new, you are unfamiliar. Your body, your mind, your environment, just the way you do things is weird. You find it weird, you find it not normal, and you find yourself missing the old self. But like I said, sometimes the old self was just surviving and not thriving, and we are looking to do what? To thrive. So number 4 is discipline feels harder than motivation, right? In the beginning, when you start something, you are excited, you're motivated, you're going all in, but over time, the motivation fades. And this is where the discipline needs to start kicking in, because you can only be so excited and motivated and amped up for so long, right? When that fades, this is where your discipline needs to kick in. This is where you need to start learning how to be consistent, because the more you're consistent in something, that's the more disciplined you become. You're not part of the squad anymore. You don't feel like, oh, it's like a Mugello. Oh, it's a whole different story when you have to be now consistent doing it every single day. You need to remember that the motivation will fade, but the discipline needs to kick in, because with the discipline comes the consistency, and with consistency comes the result, right? So don't be alarmed or don't feel a certain type of way when you're like, I'm no longer excited about that thing anymore, and you feel like you want to give up, because really, once you stop being excited about something, it's just like, it's such a drag, But you need to be disciplined, you need to be consistent, and you will be able to see the results of your consistency. Sure. Cool, guys. So last but not least, number 5 is the quiet victories, right? Healing is not about the big transformations, all of a sudden you've lost 200 pounds or like 50 kgs, It's not about the big transformations. All of a sudden you're doing everyday skin routine, one to one. All of a sudden, when every single day you are doing your full night routine, you are sleeping at 7 o'clock, you are waking up at 5. Like, it's not, it shouldn't be, you shouldn't always celebrate when it's a huge win, You can celebrate the small wins. Let's say you struggled to sleep before, now you're sleeping better, Now you're able to do 10 minutes of exercise instead of doing nothing. You're able to take a 5-minute walk. Now you're able to put your phone down at 8 instead of 10. It's about the small little things that change over time that contribute to the bigger picture. If you are like me, I'm quite anxious, and I'm a bit of an overthinker. So sometimes when something happens and I'm not fixated or overthinking that text message or what somebody had said, or things like that, and I'm just like, it wasn't anything. The next day when I wake up, I'm so proud of myself, because I'm like, I'm actually not the person. So I'm so glad that I'm transforming into this new person, and I didn't overthink it, and I didn't find myself stressing about something that was just like so small, So the small wins, like, they'll motivate a little, and it's a discipline, so that you with what you're trying to achieve, It's maybe enjoying your day and just laughing more and not being in your head all the time, feeling less stressed, Like, literally those things contribute. Don't always be fixated over the big picture. I want to make sure, I don't want to be an overthinker, I don't want to be a people's pleaser, I want to be perfect. Like, it does not work like that overnight. So it needs to be gradual. And when you do see improvement, even as small as it can be, celebrate that. The small wins contribute to the big transformation. This one too. So yes, guys, those are just like a couple of things that I wanted to mention that nobody really talks about when they go through the healing journey. Healing and self-improvement is not linear. It's not straight. It's not easy. It's not you wake up tomorrow and it's done. So we need to always just take a look at the small things that we do every day. We will stumble and fall, but we just need to make sure that we're consistent and standing up and trying again. Healing will be one of the most beautiful gifts that you can give yourself. It will give you peace. It will give you clarity. It will just give you a calm in your life, where you get to prioritize yourself, know yourself better, and just take it easy, man. Just take it easy. Like, relaxang, baby. Little by little. Like I said, I'm starting this journey and I'm walking through it with everyone on my channel. So let's just try. Let's just try our best. Let's identify the things that are difficult and be able to recognize them so that they don't make us go back. But even if something happens and we stumble and fall, we are able to recognize them and move forward. That's the point of it all. Okay guys, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. So please do like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.